history being this mysterious object that we need to find ways of breaking into. That humility of analytical position really structures everything I do, and all my books have been written around moments where I thought, ah, here's a way in. Like, and it's more often than not some graph or some data, and I think, ah, like this is something that we can work on and widen and then see what. So it is tactic, methodology. One could also here go to the language of military theory. I'm very much of the Foucauldian generation in that respect. Clausewitz is somebody I teach. I teach military history because I think it's an interesting body, not just because it's materially important, but because theoretically the military, this is Lenin's thinking in these terms is also interesting because he's so much, and Althusser picks this up with the Machiavellian stuff, like the tactics is itself. The fact that tactics matter tells you something about strategy and even ontology, right? It tells you something really fundamental about the world, that the way in which we engage with it has this tactical dimension. We can smooth that out and call it methodology as much as we like, but you can also talk in terms of breaking in terms of the military logic of tactics, like finding the point d'appui, right? And having this coup d'oeil, being able to see the thing, being able to preserve your calm. Because as we all know from analysis and everything else, like this is emotionally unsettling when you do this kind of work. So how can you maintain the calmness? What sort of checklists do you use to orientate yourself? All of that military stuff, all of a sudden, which is also interesting from the point of view of financial crisis management and so on, because that's a field of analogy that they employ. And with this is a very long answer, but the tactics of navigating that space is, yes, I mean, it's really, it's the greatest gift that, one of the greatest gifts intellectually, that criticism from Perry Anderson is that one of the greatest gifts I've received in my adult life intellectually is that it forced me to recognize that is what we're up against. Certainly I feel we're up against.